Okay. Hello, everybody sitting at home. Sorry you're not feeling well or have to be at home or whatever. Okay, so we're going over the pre-benchmark quiz. So a positive times a negative is what you've already told me, right? So the answer to this, 2 times 8 is negative 16. What is a negative plus a negative? Negative. Go ahead. Negative. More negative. And remember, if you do those positives and negatives like this, 5, 6, 7, 8, nothing cancels out. We were doing that yesterday, right? No positives and negatives cancel out. We end up with 10 negatives altogether. All right. What do you do if there's 2 minuses in a row? Right. Now make sure that you make those positive, but not this one out front. That one stays negative. So this is really like negative 2 plus a positive 8. That's 2 negatives and 8 positives. 5, 6, 7, 8. These cancel out. You end up with 6 positives left. If you got it wrong, fix it. All right. How do we multiply fractions again? Just talk to me, guys. Talk. Just talk.
Oh, that's across.
Just multiply across, okay? So I'm going to multiply across. That is 2/12. And yes, you do have to reduce. So what can we take out of the top and the bottom? Yeah. 2. If I divide by 2 on the top and the bottom, I end up with 1/6 is my final answer. All right. Dividing fractions. I'm going to take 2/3. I'm going to change it to a times. And then flip the second fraction, which gives me negative 8/3, which is a totally cool answer, or you could say that's negative 2 2/3. Both of those are good. All right, now this one is adding. So I'm going to have to change them both to a common denominator, and I want them to be 12 because I know that 3 and 4 both go into 12. I had to multiply the first fraction by 4, have to multiply the top by 4 too, which makes that 8. Have to multiply the second one by 3, which means I multiply the top by 3 as well, which is a negative 3. So now I've got 8/12 plus a negative 3/12, which makes what? 5/12. So yep, you have to think about 8 and a negative 3. Okay, if you got it wrong, fix it. What's up?
Well, 8 plus negative 3 is negative 11.
Nope, negative 8 and negative 3 is negative 11. If it's one of them's positive and one of them's negative, you have to either do this like plus thing and minus thing and cancel them out.
But that's not negative.
I know. I'm saying that your answer, negative 11, would be negative 8 plus negative 3 is negative 11. That would be correct for that. But a positive 8 and a negative 3 makes positive 5. Okay. All right, next up. If the temperature is 1 degree Fahrenheit outside right now, what would the new temperature be if it rose 7 degrees? 8 degrees, all right, so we'd go up to 8 degrees. And what if it fell back down 7 degrees? You could either call it 1 degree Fahrenheit because you're thinking, okay, it went up 8 to 8 and then went back down to 7. Or you could say negative 6 degrees Fahrenheit. I understand if the directions were unclear, but what I meant for you to do is this. So start at 7 both times. Or start at 1 both times is what I meant to say.
L through R, please head down for your pictures at this time. L through R, please head down for
All right. Last one. I'm going to start plugging in stuff. That's 1 minus 7. I'm going to change that to 1 plus a negative 7. That's 1 positive and 6 negatives. Okay, one set cancels off, or 7 negatives, and you end up with a negative 6 for that one. For number 9, it is z, which is 7, divided by x, which is negative 2. So your final answer would be negative 7/2, or you could say negative 3.5. Both of those work. And finally, these are absolute value signs. What do absolute value signs mean again? Yes?
How far away they are from 0.
How far away it is from 0, but you only do that once you simplify the inside first. So absolute value of negative 2 minus 4 absolute value plus 7. What's negative 2 plus a negative 4? So then we're going to write the absolute value of negative 6 and then add 7. And what is the absolute value of negative 6? 6. 6 plus 7 makes 13. Do not simplify and say, ooh, I changed it to a positive 2 and a positive 4. That does not always work. In this case it did, but if one had been positive, one had been negative, it would have been wrong, okay? So make sure you only simplify once you get one number down in the absolute value. Questions before we go for it? Yes?
No, we're looking at 3.5.
That's fine. Negative 3.5?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the status of the envelope?
In a minute. We're working on this benchmark now. Okay. All right. We're all ready to go? Okay, go back to your original seats, put the seats back. When you're done, I want your original and I want your quiz. Yeah, anything you want. You may use any notes you want, including the worksheet we just did, including the warm-up we did, including any notes you already have in your notebook. You are not allowed to use a calculator. When you're done, turn in your pre-benchmark and your benchmark into the treasure chest. How do you feel about this? Does this feel achievable, maybe? Good. Good luck. No, it stays positive. If it's negative, it becomes a positive, and if it's positive, it stays positive.